In the hospital, she cried with her baby in her arms until a doctor noticed and did the unthinkable. Melissa Johnson held little Ethan close to her chest, her tears falling silently onto the white blanket wrapped around the newborn. The hallway of Mercy General Hospital was bustling that Tuesday afternoon, with nurses rushing by and the constant hum of medical equipment echoing off the walls. Dr. William Cooper had passed by her twice that day, but it wasn't until the third time that something made him stop. This woman wasn't crying tears of joy like the other mothers. There was desperation in her eyes, an anguish he recognized after 40 years in medicine. "Excuse me," he said, approaching gently. "I'm Dr. William. Is everything all right?" Melissa lifted her swollen, tear-streaked eyes and tried to compose herself. "Yes, doctor. I'm just tired." But the doctor knew she was lying. There was something deeper there, a pain that went beyond the exhaustion of recent childbirth. "Is the baby okay?" he asked, noticing how tightly she held Ethan, as if afraid to lose him. He needs heart surgery," Melissa whispered, her voice trembling. "The doctor said it's urgent, but I can't afford it." Dr. William's stomach tightened. Cases like this were more common than he cared to admit. Entire families fell apart trying to pay for expensive medical treatments. "You work here at the hospital, don't you?" he asked, vaguely recognizing her face. 16 years, she replied, trying to maintain her dignity despite the tears. "I'm in housekeeping." The overnight shift. That explained why he recognized her. Dr. William arrived early every day and always saw a brown-haired woman organizing supplies, leaving everything spotless before the workday began. Dear listener, if you're enjoying this story, take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now back to the story. On that night, William couldn't get Melissa out of his mind. He had discreetly asked a few nurses about her and uncovered a story that moved him even more. Melissa had raised 2 older children on her own, now grown, working tirelessly. When she became pregnant with Ethan at 40, she thought it was impossible. But the baby came as a surprise she embraced with all her love. The problem was that Brandon, Ethan's father, had vanished as soon as he learned of the pregnancy. Melissa had tried to find him many times, but he'd simply disappeared, leaving her to face everything alone. The next morning, Dr. Williams sought out Margaret, the head of housekeeping, to learn more about Melissa's situation. "She's one of my best employees," Margaret said, a woman in her 50s with graying hair. "Never missed a single day, always punctual, always dedicated. But since the baby was born, she's been desperate. The surgery costs $40,000. $40,000? Dr. Williams swallowed hard. It was an impossible sum for someone earning minimum wage. She's sold everything she had. Even the old TV is gone. Her older kids are trying to help, but they don't make much either." Dr. Williams spent the rest of the day searching for a solution. As a doctor, he knew Ethan needed the surgery within weeks. The baby's heart condition was serious, but treatable if operated on in time. During his lunch break, he decided to find Melissa. He spotted her in the staff cafeteria, eating just a piece of bread with butter while staring at a photo of Ethan on her phone. "Mind if I sit?" he asked. Melissa nodded but seemed embarrassed by how little she was eating. "I spoke with Margaret about your situation," Dr. Williams said. "I'd like to help in some way." "Doctor, I'm not asking for charity," she replied with dignity. "I'll find a way. I always have." "I know you're not, but sometimes accepting help is its own kind of courage." Melissa looked him in the eyes for the first time. There was genuine kindness there, something she wasn't used to seeing. "Why do you want to help me? You barely know me." Dr. Cooper was silent for a moment, remembering his own past. "When I was little, my mother also worked at a hospital, cleaning, cooking, wherever there was an opening. When I got sick at 8, a doctor treated me for free. He said he was repaying a kindness someone had once shown him. Ever since, I've tried to do the same." That afternoon, Dr. Cooper began looking into options for Ethan. He spoke with other doctors, checked the hospital's social programs, called acquaintances. But the bureaucracy was overwhelming, and time was running out. Then he remembered Dr. Jennifer Reynolds, a pediatric heart surgeon he'd worked with years ago. She now had her own clinic and was known for volunteer work. He called her that same night. "William, what a surprise," Jennifer said when she answered. "Jennifer, I need a very special favor. There's a baby who needs urgent heart surgery, but the family can't afford it." "Tell me the details." Dr. Cooper explained Melissa and Ethan's situation. Jennifer listened carefully and agreed to examine the baby the next day, free of charge. "If it's something I can handle, we'll make it work," she promised. The next morning, Dr. Cooper found Melissa in the hallway and shared the good news. "I got you an appointment with the best pediatric heart surgeon in the city. She'll examine Ethan this afternoon." Melissa began to cry again, but this time they were tears of hope. "Doctor, I don't know how to thank you." "Don't celebrate yet. Let's hear what she says first." The appointment was set for 3 in the afternoon. Dr. Cooper accompanied Melissa and Ethan to Jennifer's clinic. The examination took nearly 2 hours with multiple tests and analyses. When Jennifer finally called them in to talk, her expression was serious. "Ethan's condition is more complex than I expected," she said. "He has 2 heart defects that need correction. The surgery is possible, but it'll take longer and cost more than initially estimated." Melissa felt her world collapse. If $40,000 was already impossible, how much would it be now? "How much?" she asked weakly. "Normally I'd charge $80,000 for this kind of surgery." Melissa held Ethan tighter, as if he might slip from her arms. This was the end. There was no way to get that kind of money. "But," Jennifer continued, "I insist on operating on Ethan for free. The only costs will be for materials and hospitalization, which should be around $15,000. $15,000 was still money Melissa didn't have, but it was far less than 80. "Dr. Cooper told me your story," Jennifer said. "I was also raised by a mother who worked hard to give me opportunities. Consider this my way of paying it forward." In the days that followed, Dr. Cooper worked tirelessly to help Melissa raise the $15,000. He organized a fundraiser among hospital staff, reached out to doctor friends, even dipped into his own savings, but they were still short. Then something unexpected happened. Margaret, the head of cleaning, approached Dr. Cooper with important news. "Doctor, there's something Melissa never tells anyone, but I think you should know." "What is it?" 3 years ago, she donated a kidney to save a stranger's life. The woman had been on the waiting list for years and was about to give up on treatment. Melissa volunteered when she heard the story. Dr. William Cooper was shocked. Melissa had literally given a part of herself to save a life, and now she was desperate to save her own son. "Do you know who received the kidney?" "Yes, I do. Her name is Amanda Stewart. She now owns a successful event planning company here in the city." That same afternoon, Dr. William decided to look for Amanda Stewart. He found the address of her business and went there, even without an appointment. The receptionist tried to stop him from speaking with Amanda, but Dr. William insisted it was urgent. "It's about the woman who donated a kidney to you 3 years ago," he said. 5 minutes later, Amanda appeared in person at the reception desk. She was a 45-year-old woman, elegant and healthy-looking. "You said this is about my donor," she asked, visibly emotional. "Yes, she desperately needs help now." Dr. William told Amanda the whole story of Melissa and Ethan. As he spoke, he saw her eyes fill with tears. "I tried so many times to find a way to thank her," Amanda said. "But the hospital couldn't give me any information. Do you know what it's like to live with a new kidney? It's like being reborn every day, and I owe that to her. She's going through the worst time of her life. Her son might not survive without surgery." Amanda didn't hesitate for a second. "I'll pay for everything. The surgery, the supplies, the hospital stay, and I'll even give her some money to help her through the first few months with the baby." Dr. William felt overwhelming emotion. Sometimes life really did make sense. "Would you like to meet her in person?" "More than anything in the world." Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot, as we're just starting out. Now, continuing. The next day, Dr. William arranged a meeting between Melissa and Amanda at the hospital. Melissa was in the nursery taking care of Ethan when Dr. William arrived with a woman she didn't recognize. "Melissa, I'd like you to meet someone very special," he said. "This is Amanda." Melissa greeted her politely but didn't understand the significance of the moment. "Melissa," Amanda said, her voice trembling, "you saved my life 3 years ago. You gave me your kidney." Melissa's eyes widened as she finally recognized the woman standing before her. "Amanda. Oh my, you look so well," she exclaimed, genuinely happy. "I always wondered how you were doing. I'm great, thanks to you, and now it's my turn to give back." Amanda explained that she would pay for Ethan's entire surgery and provide financial support for Melissa. "No, I can't accept this," Melissa said, shaking her head. "You can and you will," Amanda replied, firmly but kindly. "Just like you didn't think twice before giving me your kidney. Some things in life aren't up for debate. You just do them." Melissa began to cry, but this time they were tears of relief and gratitude. "I don't know what to say." "You don't have to say anything, just let me help." Ethan's surgery was scheduled for the following week. Dr. Jennifer Reynolds would personally come to Mercy General Hospital to perform the procedure, using all the necessary resources. But 3 days before the surgery, something unexpected happened. Brandon, Ethan's father, showed up at the hospital. Melissa was in the nursery when a nurse told her a man wanted to speak with her. "Hello, Melissa," Brandon said with a forced smile. Melissa felt a mix of anger and sadness at the sight of him. "What are you doing here, Brandon?" "I came to see my son. I heard he was born." "You heard?" Melissa couldn't contain her outrage. "You disappeared when you found out I was pregnant. You wanted nothing to do with it for 9 months. I was confused, Melissa, but now I'm ready to take responsibility." "Responsibility?" she nearly shouted. "What responsibility? Ethan is sick. He needs surgery. Where were you when I needed you?" Brandon seemed genuinely surprised to hear about Ethan's condition. "He's sick? What do you mean?" Melissa explained the whole situation, from his birth to the surgery scheduled in just a few days. "And how much does this surgery cost?" Brandon asked. "It doesn't matter. It's already taken care of." "What do you mean taken care of? Who's paying?" Melissa hesitated. She didn't want to explain anything to him, but she ended up telling him about Dr. Cooper, Amanda, and the whole effort. Brandon was silent for a few minutes, processing the information. "Melissa, I want to help too." "Brandon, I don't need your help." "Where were you when I did?" "You have every right to be angry with me. I was a coward. But now I want to do the right thing." "The right thing would have been staying from the beginning." Brandon lowered his head, ashamed. "I know I don't deserve it, but let me meet my son, and let me help in some way." Melissa looked at Ethan, sleeping peacefully in his crib. Part of her was furious with Brandon, but another part knew Ethan had the right to know his father. "You can meet him," she finally said, "but don't expect me to trust you. Trust takes time." Brandon stepped closer to the crib and looked at Ethan for the first time, his eyes filled with tears. "He's beautiful," he whispered. "He looks like me when I was a baby." Melissa had to admit there were similarities. Ethan had Brandon's dark eyes and the shape of his face. "Why did you run?" she asked, needing to understand. Brandon took a deep breath before answering. "I was scared. Scared I wouldn't be a good father. Scared I wouldn't have enough money. Scared I'd let you and the baby down. So I thought it'd be better for you without me." "Was that your decision to make alone?" "No, and I know it was wrong. But at the time it felt like the only way out." Dr. Cooper, who had been observing part of the conversation from a distance, approached. "Excuse me," he said. "I'm Dr. Cooper, the physician handling Ethan's case." "Brandon," he replied, extending his hand. "I'm Ethan's father." "His father?" Dr. Cooper couldn't hide his surprise or the judgment in his voice. "I know what you're thinking," Brandon said. "And you're right, I wasn't here when I should have been. So why are you here now? Because I want to change that. I want to be part of my son's life." Dr. Cooper glanced at Melissa, who gave a subtle nod asking for patience. Ethan will undergo a very delicate surgery in 3 days, Dr. Cooper said. He'll need a lot of care afterward. His mother will need support. I want to give that support, Brandon said. I know I have a lot to prove, but I'm willing. Over the next 2 days, Brandon spent a lot of time at Mercy General Hospital. He helped Melissa with small things, brought her food, stayed with Ethan while she rested. Melissa was still hesitant, but she admitted it was good to have the help. On the eve of the surgery, Dr. Reynolds came to the hospital for one last evaluation of Ethan and to explain the procedure to Melissa. The surgery will take about 4 hours, she explained. We'll correct both of his heart defects. The recovery is the most delicate part, but I'm confident. What if something goes wrong? Melissa asked, fear in her voice. Melissa, every surgery has risks. But Ethan is a strong, healthy baby aside from his heart condition. The chances of success are very high. Brandon was present during the conversation and asked a question that surprised everyone. Doctor, is there any chance Ethan might need a donor in the future, like blood or something? No, this surgery will completely resolve his issue. Why do you ask? I'd like to have all the necessary tests done to be a donor for my son, just in case he ever needs anything. Dr. Jennifer smiled. That's very responsible of you. We can run the tests even if it's not necessary right now. Melissa was surprised by Brandon's attitude. It was the first time he'd shown real commitment to Ethan. On the day of the surgery, Melissa arrived at Mercy General Hospital at 6 in the morning. Brandon was waiting for her at the entrance. I thought you might want company, he said. Thank you, she replied, genuinely grateful. Doctor, William Cooper also arrived early, even though he wasn't directly responsible for the surgery. Amanda showed up an hour later, bringing coffee and pastries for everyone. How are you feeling? Amanda asked Melissa. Scared, she admitted, but also hopeful. At 9 o'clock, it was time to take Ethan to the operating room. Melissa kissed her baby's forehead and whispered, Everything will be fine, my love. Mommy's right here waiting for you. The surgery began at 9:30. Dr. Jennifer had promised to give updates every hour. The first hour passed slowly. Melissa paced nervously through the halls while Brandon tried to keep her calm. He'll be okay, he said. He's a strong boy, just like his mom. At 10:30, Dr. Jennifer sent the first update. Everything's going well. First defect successfully corrected. Melissa felt a wave of relief, but she knew half the surgery was still ahead. At 11:30, second defect being corrected. Ethan is responding very well. At 12:30, procedure successfully completed, now closing up. 1 more hour and we'll be done. When Dr. Jennifer finally stepped out of the operating room at 2 in the afternoon, her face was tired but happy. Everything went perfectly, she said, removing her surgical mask. Ethan is fine. The surgery was a complete success. Melissa broke down in tears of relief. Brandon hugged her, and for the first time in months, she let herself relax in his arms. When can I see him? She asked. He'll be in the pediatric ICU for about 3 days, just as a precaution. After that, he can move to a regular room. In a week, you can take him home. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us as we're just starting out. Now, continuing. During the 3 days Ethan was in the ICU, Melissa barely left the hospital. Brandon took turns with her, bringing food and trying to convince her to rest at home for a few hours. Dr. William made it a point to check on Ethan's progress every day, even though it was no longer necessary. You've become special to me, he told Melissa. It's rare to see such dedication and love. Doctor, I don't know how I'll ever repay you for everything you've done for us. You don't need to repay anything. Just be happy and take good care of Ethan. On the 3rd day, Ethan was moved to a regular room. For the first time since his birth, Melissa could hold him in her arms without worrying about tubes and machines. Hi, my love, she whispered. Mommy missed you. Ethan opened his little eyes and seemed to look right at her, as if he recognized her. Brandon was there too and couldn't hold back his emotions. Can I hold him too? He asked. Melissa hesitated for a moment, but then placed Ethan in Brandon's arms. "Hi, champ," Brandon said, his voice thick with emotion. "Daddy's here now. And I'm not going anywhere ever again." Melissa watched the scene and felt something unexpected. Hope. Maybe they really could become a family. Amanda visited Ethan every day. She had developed a special fondness for Melissa and the baby. "You know you can come to me whenever you need anything, right?" she said. "Not just for big things, for anything. Amanda, you've already done so much for us. Melissa, when you gave me your kidney, you gave me a new life. Now let me be part of Ethan's new life too." Dr. William Cooper had spoken to Margaret about Melissa's situation at work. "She'll need to stay home for about 2 months to take care of Ethan," he said. "Is there any way to give her some kind of leave?" "Dr. Cooper, the most I can do is unpaid leave. The hospital doesn't provide medical leave for cleaning staff beyond what the law requires." "What if I talk to administration?" "You can try, but I doubt they'll change the rules for just one employee." Dr. Cooper decided to speak personally with Dr. Richard Thompson, the hospital's administrative director. "Richard, I want to talk about one of our employees' situation," he said, entering the director's office. "What situation?" Dr. Cooper shared Melissa's entire story, from her pregnancy to Ethan's surgery. "It's a very touching story, William," said Dr. Thompson, "but you know I can't make exceptions. If I do it for one, I'll have to do it for everyone. Richard, this isn't just any employee. Melissa has worked here for 16 years, never missed a day, never caused any trouble, and she already saved a life by donating a kidney. That's admirable, but it doesn't change hospital policy." Dr. Cooper left the conversation frustrated. It seemed institutions were always too rigid for human cases. Then he had an idea. Amanda had an event planning business. Maybe she could offer Melissa temporary work, something with flexible hours. He called Amanda that same afternoon. "Amanda, would you have any work to offer Melissa? Something she could do from home or with flexible hours?" "Of course. I was just needing someone to organize my files and handle some administrative tasks. It's work that can be done from home, and I can pay better than the hospital." Dr. Cooper smiled. Sometimes solutions came from the least expected places. When he told Melissa about the offer, she was speechless. "But I don't know anything about business, Dr. Cooper. I only know how to clean." "Melissa, you're one of the most organized people I know. I'm sure you'll do just fine." "What about the hospital job? You can take leave for a few months and then decide what you want to do." Melissa talked to Brandon about the offer. "I think you should take it," he said. "It's a chance for better hours and higher pay. And you'll get to spend more time with Ethan." "You're right. It's just hard to leave a job I've had for so long." "You're not leaving forever. It's just some time to focus on Ethan and see if you like this new field." Melissa decided to accept Amanda's offer. Margaret was sad to lose her temporarily, but understood it was best for her. "Melissa, your job will be here whenever you want to come back," Margaret said. "You're one of my best employees." A week after the surgery, Ethan was discharged. Dr. Jennifer Reynolds gave Melissa the final instructions. "He's perfect," she said. "His heart is working normally. He'll just need routine checkups like any child." "Doctor, I don't know how to thank you for everything you've done." "Melissa, seeing you happy is the greatest thanks I could receive." Dr. Cooper was also there for Ethan's discharge. "How are you feeling?" he asked Melissa. "Relieved, happy, grateful. There are so many feelings I can't even explain." "And Brandon, how are things between you two?" Melissa looked at Brandon, who was organizing Ethan's things for their departure. "Better than I expected," she admitted. "He's really trying. I think we can give it another shot." Dr. William Cooper smiled. He knew relationships were complicated, but there was something genuine about Brandon's effort. Amanda arrived just as they were being discharged, bringing a gift for Ethan, a blue stuffed bear. "For the bravest little boy I know," she said, handing the gift to Melissa. "Amanda, you've already done so much for us." "Melissa, stop it. We're family now, family of the heart." Leaving the hospital was emotional. Several staff members said goodbye to Melissa and Ethan. Margaret cried, the nurses insisted on taking pictures, and even Dr. Richard Thompson, the administrative director, came to wish them luck. At home, Melissa could finally relax completely. Ethan was healthy, she had a new job, and Brandon was making an effort to be a good father and partner. "Do you want some coffee?" Brandon asked. "Yes, I do," Melissa replied, settling on the couch with Ethan in her arms. As Brandon made the coffee, Melissa reflected on everything that had happened over the past few months. There were times when she thought she couldn't endure so much pain, but now, watching Ethan sleeping peacefully in her arms, she knew it had all been worth it. "The coffee's ready," Brandon said, returning from the kitchen. "Brandon, I need to talk to you about something." He sat beside her, slightly apprehensive. "I know you're trying really hard to earn back my trust," she said, "and I see that. But you need to understand it's going to take time." "I understand. And I'm willing to wait as long as it takes. And you need to know that if you disappear again, I won't give you a third chance. Ethan doesn't deserve a father who comes and goes from his life. Melissa, I promise that won't happen. I've learned from my mistake. Then let's try, but slowly, one day at a time." Brandon smiled and kissed her forehead tenderly. In the months that followed, Melissa's life changed completely. Her work with Amanda was going very well. She discovered she had a knack for organization and administration, skills she never knew she had. Amanda became much more than a boss. She was a friend, a confidant, someone Melissa could always turn to. "Melissa, I've been thinking about expanding the business," Amanda said one day, "and I'd like you to be my partner." "Partner?" Melissa nearly spilled her coffee. "Amanda, I don't know anything about business. You understand people, and that's more important than any technique. You have an amazing instinct for knowing what clients need. But I don't have money to invest. Your investment is your work and dedication. I have the capital, you have the skills. Together we can do something incredible." That same night, Melissa talked to Brandon about the offer. "I think you should take it," he said. "It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity." "But what if it fails? What if I can't do it?" "Melissa, look at everything you've already accomplished. Raised 2 kids alone, saved a life by donating your kidney, fought to save Ethan. If you've done all that, you can do anything." Dr. William Cooper continued monitoring Ethan and became a constant presence in their lives. He had retired from the hospital but couldn't stay away completely. "Ethan is growing up very well," he said during a routine checkup. "He's at the ideal weight. His development is perfect. His heart is functioning as if he never had any problems." "Dr. Cooper, you saved my son's life," Melissa said. "Not just with the surgery, but with everything you've done for us." "Melissa, I just did what anyone should do, help those in need." "Not everyone would do what you did, sir." Dr. William Cooper smiled, but there was a melancholy in his eyes. "Doctor, is everything all right?" Brandon asked. "Yes, it is. It's just that sometimes I think about how many people could be helped if we all cared more for one another." Melissa had an idea right then. "Dr. Cooper, Amanda and I are starting a new business. What if we created a social project together? Something to help hospital workers going through hard times?" Dr. Cooper brightened at the idea. "That would be fantastic. I know so many cases like yours. We could organize charity events, set up a relief fund, even offer alternative jobs for those wanting to change fields." Amanda loved the idea when Melissa told her. "Let's do it," she said. "We can use the company's structure to organize charity events, and the proceeds will go to the relief fund." And that's how the Caring Hearts Project was born. The first event was held 3 months after Ethan was discharged. It was a charity dinner at a banquet hall, attended by doctors, hospital staff, and local business owners. Dr. Cooper gave a moving speech about the importance of caring for one another. Melissa shared her own story, from the kidney donation to Ethan's surgery. "I've learned that sometimes life puts us in difficult situations so we can discover the kindness in people," she said. "And I've learned that helping isn't just about giving money. It's about giving attention, love, hope." The event raised $20,000, which helped 3 families of hospital workers facing medical hardships. Margaret, Melissa's former supervisor, was there. "Melissa, I always knew you were special," she said, "but seeing what you've built after everything you've been through moves me deeply. Margaret, you were like a mother to me at the hospital. Your support meant everything." and now you're helping others the way you were helped. That's beautiful. A year after Ethan's surgery, the family was completely transformed. Brandon had become a present and loving father. He and Melissa had married in a simple ceremony, attended by Dr. Cooper, Amanda, and the hospital staff who had become friends. Ethan was growing up healthy and happy. His checkups always showed his heart was working perfectly. Melissa and Amanda's business was thriving. They now had 5 employees and organized events across the region. The Caring Hearts Project had helped over 30 families and become a local reference. Dr. Cooper had officially become Ethan's pediatrician, even in retirement. He said he couldn't stay away from the family that had changed his life too. "You know something, Melissa," he said during a checkup. "When I was young, I thought being a doctor was just about curing illnesses. Now I know it's so much more. It's about caring for people, giving hope, believing in human kindness. Doctor, you taught me there are good people in the world, and that one person can make all the difference in another's life. And you taught me that gratitude and courage can turn pain into joy." Amanda was also at the appointment. She had become Ethan's godmother and an inseparable part of the family. "You know I was never able to have children," she said, "but I gained a family in the most special way possible. I gained you all. Amanda, you're proof that good things come back to those who do good," Melissa said. "You received a kidney and gave so much more. You gave love, opportunities, hope." Brandon, who was organizing Ethan's toys, joined the conversation. "I learned a very important lesson from all this," he said. "I learned that running away from problems only creates bigger ones, and that facing difficulties together is always better than facing them alone." "And what did you learn the most?" asked Dr. William Cooper. "That being a father isn't just about providing money or being physically present. It's about giving love, security, and setting an example, and that's something you learn by doing. There's no manual." Ethan, who was now 1 year old and crawling around the room, made his way to Brandon and tried to climb onto his lap. Brandon carefully picked him up. "Hey, champ," he said, "Daddy's here." Ethan smiled, showing his first little teeth. "He's getting smarter every day," said Melissa. "Yesterday he tried to say, 'Mommy.'" "Did he manage it?" asked Amanda. "Almost. It came out mama. But I understood." Dr. Cooper watched the scene warmly. It was hard to believe that just a year earlier, this family had been desperate, unsure if Ethan would survive. "Do you have plans for the future?" he asked. "Lots," Melissa replied. "We want to expand the Caring Hearts Project even further. Amanda is thinking about opening a branch of the company in another city, and we," she glanced at Brandon, "are thinking about giving Ethan a little sibling." "Really?" Dr. Cooper perked up. "We're still just talking about it," Brandon said, "but it would be beautiful to have another baby. And this time," Melissa added, "it'll be different. It'll be a peaceful pregnancy, with the father present from the start. And with a whole family supporting you," Amanda finished. Dr. Cooper smiled. He knew there couldn't be a more beautiful story to tell his grandchildren. 2 years after Ethan's birth, Melissa gave birth to a girl, Olivia. The delivery was smooth, and this time the whole family was present. Brandon never left Melissa's side for a minute. Dr. Cooper made sure to attend the birth, even though he was no longer the attending physician. "Olivia is perfect," he said, examining the baby. "Healthy heart, all reflexes normal. A beautiful, strong little girl." Ethan, now 2 years old, was enchanted by his baby sister. He tried to help with everything, bringing diapers and gently stroking her. "He's going to be a protective big brother," Amanda said, watching Ethan care for Olivia. The Caring Hearts Project had grown so much that it now operated as an official NGO. They had their own headquarters, a team of 10 people, and had helped over 100 families. Melissa was the NGO's president, Amanda the financial director, and Dr. Cooper the medical coordinator. They organized monthly events and had partnerships with several hospitals in the area. "I never imagined that terrible day at the hospital could lead to so much good," Melissa said during an NGO meeting. "It's because you turned pain into purpose," Dr. Cooper replied, "and that inspires others to do the same." Margaret had retired from the hospital and now worked as a volunteer for the Caring Hearts Project. She was responsible for identifying hospital staff who needed help. "Melissa, you have no idea how proud I am of you," she said. "Seeing how far you've come moves me every day. Margaret, you always believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself, because I saw something special in you, a strength that comes from within." Melissa and Amanda's event planning company had become one of the most respected in the area. They were known not only for the quality of their events, but also for the social work they did. Brandon had decided to switch careers and now worked with them at the company. He discovered he had a talent for sales and client relations. "Working as a family is good," he said. "We understand each other better and can adjust schedules to take care of the kids." "And you're doing really well," Amanda added. "Your clients love you." "It's because now I have real motivation," replied Brandon. "I work for my family, for our future." Ethan continued to have regular medical checkups with Dr. William, but his tests were always perfect. His surgery scar was almost invisible, and he was a normal, playful and bright child. "Uncle William," said Ethan, who already spoke well at 3 years old, "when I grow up, can I be a doctor like you?" Dr. William was moved by the question. "Of course you can, champ. You can be whatever you want. I want to help kids who get sick like I did." Melissa held Ethan's hand and said, "My son, you already help so many people just by existing. Your story gives hope to other families." "How's that, Mummy? When other mums get scared because their babies are sick, I tell them your story. I tell them how you got better and how there are good people who help." Ethan smiled and hugged Dr. William. "Thank you for healing me, Uncle William. I didn't heal you alone, Ethan. It was the work of so many people who cared about you." On Ethan's 5th birthday, the family threw a special party, not just to celebrate his 5 years, but also to mark 5 years of transformation, rebirth, and family. Everyone was there. Dr. William, Amanda, Margaret, the nurses from Mercy General Hospital who had followed his journey, the company employees, and the families helped by the Caring Hearts Project. Dr. Jennifer Reynolds, the surgeon who operated on Ethan, also attended. She had become a family friend and kept up with the boy's progress. "Ethan is perfect," she said. "It's hard to believe he ever had heart problems. His heart works better than many children's who were born without any issues." "Doctor, you saved my son," said Melissa. "I don't have the words to thank you." "Melissa, seeing Ethan grow up healthy and happy is the greatest thanks I could ask for. And seeing everything you've built since then inspires me to keep doing volunteer surgeries." During the party, Dr. William gave an emotional speech. 5 years ago, I was here at this hospital when I saw a mother crying with her baby in her arms. At that moment, I never imagined that meeting would change not just their lives, but mine too. Ethan taught me that medicine goes far beyond techniques and medicine. It's about hope, about believing in people, about building bridges between hearts. Melissa also wanted to speak. "When Ethan was born with heart problems, I thought it was the end of the world. Today I know it was the beginning of a new life. A life where I learned that kindness exists, that people care, and that obstacles can become opportunities to grow and help others." Amanda added, "This family gave me life twice. First, when Melissa donated her kidney to me. Then, when they let me be part of your lives. I learned that family isn't just who you're born with, it's who you choose to love and care for." Brandon, holding Olivia in his arms, also spoke up. "I made a lot of mistakes in the past. I ran when I should have stayed, but this family gave me a second chance. Ethan and Olivia taught me what unconditional love is. Melissa taught me what forgiveness is. And all of you taught me it's never too late to change and do the right thing." Ethan, even at just 5 years old, asked to speak too. "I want to thank everyone who helped me when I was sick. Uncle William, Aunt Amanda, Aunt Margaret, and all of you. When I grow up, I'll help other kids too. And I'll take care of my little sister Olivia forever." Everyone clapped, moved. It was impossible not to be emotional seeing that child, who had been through so much in his first months of life, now happy and full of dreams. Margaret, who was in the corner of the room, cried with emotion. "In 40 years of working at a hospital, I've never seen a story as beautiful as this," she said. You give me hope in humanity." The party continued all afternoon. The children played, the adults talked, and everyone felt like part of one big family. At the end of the day, when everyone had left, the family gathered in the living room. Ethan slept on the couch, Olivia nursed peacefully in Melissa's arms, and Brandon organized the party gifts. "Are you happy?" Brandon asked Melissa. "Happier than I ever imagined I could be," she replied. "There are moments when I look at all this and it feels like a dream. It's not a dream, it's the life we built together." "That's true. And we built it with the help of so many special people." Brandon sat beside her and gave her a tender kiss. "I love you," he said. "And I love our family. And I promise I'll take care of you forever." "I love you too," Melissa answered. "And I thank God every day that you came back to us." That night, after putting the children to bed, Melissa and Brandon stayed on the porch, looking at the stars. "What are you thinking about?" Brandon asked. "I'm thinking about how mysterious life is," Melissa said. 5 years ago, I was desperate, not knowing if my son would survive. Today we have a beautiful family, a thriving business, an NGO that helps dozens of families. It's unbelievable how much has changed. It really is unbelievable. But it's real, and we deserve all this happiness. Sometimes I feel like I have such a big responsibility," Melissa said. "So many people helped us get here. I feel like I need to give back somehow." "And you are giving back, every day, with your work at the NGO, with the business, being an amazing mother, being someone who inspires others." "You think so?" "I know so. You changed my life. You changed Dr. Cooper's life, Amanda's, Margaret's, and you changed the lives of all the families we've helped through the project." Melissa smiled and rested her head on Brandon's shoulder. "I just want Ethan and Olivia to grow up knowing they can always count on us, and that they learn to help others too." "They will learn. We're teaching them by example." 2 years later, when Ethan turned 7 and Olivia 2, the family received special news. The Caring Hearts Project had been selected for a National Social Responsibility Award. The ceremony would be in New York City, and the entire team was invited to attend. "I can't believe it," Melissa said when she heard the news. "A national award." "You deserve it," Dr. Cooper said. "The work you do is incredible." "Doctor, none of this would exist without you." "Melissa, stop that. I just gave the first push. You built everything that came after." The trip to New York City was thrilling. It was the first time Ethan and Olivia had left their hometown. They were amazed by the grandeur of the city. During the ceremony, Melissa was called to the stage to accept the award and give a speech. "When I was in the hospital, holding my sick baby and feeling hopeless, I never imagined that moment of despair could turn into all this," she said, emotional. "I learned that the worst situations in life can become opportunities to grow and help others. This award isn't mine. It belongs to everyone who believed we could make a difference. Dr. Cooper, who reached out when I needed it most. Amanda, who repaid kindness with generosity. My family, who gave me strength to keep going, and all the people who work with us to bring hope to other families." The speech received a standing ovation. Many approached afterward to learn more about the project and propose partnerships. "Mom, you were amazing," said Ethan when she stepped off the stage. "Thank you, sweetheart. You and Olivia are my greatest inspiration." On the way back from the trip, the family felt even more united and motivated. The award had brought national visibility to the project, and they began receiving requests for help from other cities. "I think it's really time to expand," said Amanda. "We can open branches of the project in other regions." "It's a big responsibility," Melissa considered, "but if we can help more families, it's worth it." Dr. William Cooper, now in his 70s, remained active in the project, but had started training other volunteer doctors. "I want to make sure the project stays strong even when I'm no longer here," he said. "Doctor, don't talk like that," Melissa protested. "Melissa, I'm talking about planning, not giving up. I want you all to have the structure to keep growing." And so it was. In the following years, the Caring Hearts Project expanded to 5 cities, helped over 500 families, and became a national reference for healthcare worker support. Ethan grew up hearing stories about his surgery and how so many people had come together to save him. This instilled in him a deep sense of social responsibility. By age 10, he was already actively involved in the project's activities, helping organize toys for other sick children and visiting hospitals with his family. "Mum, I really want to be a doctor when I grow up," he said one day. "But I want to be like Uncle William. I want to take care of people, not just their illnesses." "My son, you already take care of people. Every day you do something to help someone." Olivia, even as a little girl, showed a special sensitivity toward other children. She always shared her toys and grew sad when she saw someone crying. Brandon had become a respected businessman in the city. His event company thrived, and he was known for his honesty and community work. "Sometimes I think about what our life would have been like if I hadn't run away when I found out about the pregnancy," he told Melissa. "Brandon, there's no point dwelling on what could have been. What matters is what we built from the moment you decided to come back. You're right, and I'm grateful every day that you gave me a second chance." Dr. William remained a constant presence in the family's life. He had become a grandfather figure to Ethan and Olivia, and they adored him. "Uncle William, when you were little, did you already know you wanted to be a doctor?" Ethan asked during one of his routine checkups. "No, Ethan. When I was little, I wanted to be a soccer player," Dr. William replied, laughing. "Really? Why did you change your mind?" "Because when I was 12, my little sister got very sick, and I saw how the doctors saved her life. That's when I decided I wanted to do the same. Save lives." "And have you saved a lot of lives?" "A few. But the most special one was yours." Ethan smiled and gave Dr. William a tight hug. Amanda also remained a key part of the family. She had married a widower with 2 children and finally fulfilled her dream of having a big family. "Melissa, you know you completely changed my life, right?" she said during a Sunday lunch at the family's home. "Amanda, we changed each other's lives. It's true. But when you gave me your kidney, you gave me so much more than an organ. You gave me hope, a family, a purpose. And you gave me the chance to save my son and build a new life." Margaret, even retired, still visited the family regularly. She had become a grandmother figure to the kids and loved telling stories about the days when Melissa worked at the hospital. "Aunt Margaret, is it true that Mum used to get to the hospital at 4 in the morning?" Olivia asked. "It's true, my dear. Your mother was always very dedicated. She wanted everything to be perfect so the doctors could take care of the patients. And that's why Uncle William liked her. Uncle William liked her because he saw she had a very kind heart. Just like you and Ethan. End of story. Now tell me what you thought of this story and where you're watching from. If you have something to share with us, leave it in the comments with sincere words. Do you believe Melissa made the right decisions throughout her journey? We'd love to read your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget to like the video and, most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other touching stories.